All right, what's up, everybody? We have officially kicked off season 4, part 2, and are now on the second episode, which I see is called Sneak Attack. Just in general, a lot of course, food for thought again, and a lot of ideas that got thrown out there for me to start, kind of speculating about. Armin suggested to all the people in the Survey Corps, and I still keep calling it the Survey Corps, even though I've actually been told that it's supposed to be pronounced the Survey Corps. So I'm gonna be doing that from now on, because I did the same thing wrong in Demon Slayer, where I called it the Demon Slayer Corps, but it's not supposed to be pronounced like that. Anyway, this is me getting sidetracked right now. Armin suggested that Eren actually is not on the same team as Zeke and Yelena, which I assume with him suggesting that now, that will make it an actual fact. And Eren's plan all along was for him to start realizing this or something. But yeah, that makes that once again just like spices things up a lot and makes me kind of question, like, okay, shit, does that mean that I myself am like Team Zeke now or something? Because I did verbally speak out my support for the euthanization plan, because I thought it was honestly such a nice, peaceful way to bring the whole curse of the Titans to an end. But I don't know. A lot of these other guys apparently want to still have kids and stuff, I guess. And that's like that's a big enough ideal for them to want to preserve the status quo and to build up Paradise Island as its own nation that can simply defend itself in an everlasting. I guess that makes sense too, because at the same time, it's not like war will necessarily disappear out of the world either, right? It's like you'll still have these other nations fighting themselves too. So like, even though of course it's tragic that they will, a lot of people in the outside world might become casualties of the Titans. I mean, they would otherwise still become casualties of each other anyway as well, fighting the wars and stuff, right? So it's more, I guess, about preserving peace. I don't know, like, yeah, this is the thing, man. I mean, this is the complex state of the world once again, and just the reality of it all. But like, I guess it kind of depends that, like, okay, even if you keep your Titan your Titan race, aka the Eldians, intact, as long as you don't actually fight other people, then that's noble too, I guess, right? So I myself keep going back and forth about, okay, what do I actually believe in and who do I support and this and that. I mean, I'm quite anti-war myself, that's just the thing. Like, so as long as we can achieve that, then that's all that matters, right? But who in their right mind wouldn't be anti-war? Who in their right mind wouldn't be anti, to try and prevent as many casualties from happening in general. It's just, of course, that people, I guess, differ on how they make that happen. And yeah, sometimes people, I guess, who argue even for war, they would argue that, like, their wars will allow for less casualties to happen in the end, with their end result or something, right? So it's like, man, politics, guys, it's complex as hell. But, I like that the show, I mean, that's the thing. The one thing that I can easily appreciate the most about the show is that it, I think, just teaches you to have an open mind simply about different perspectives, right? And that's, of course, the thing when it comes to, like, politics, which, is not the best thing to bring up in entertainment videos here either, but it is clearly what this show is kind of, addressing at the same time as well, right? That's the deeper message of it, I very much think. And, I think for the most part, it kind of biggest me back to a thought that I had in, I think it was the Assault episode, for which I did like a major episode. But like all the show is trying to make you do is to just try and think and to not immediately, because that's something that I do see happen a lot of the time in the outside world, especially nowadays, is that people write each other off immediately based on like ideas that they don't agree with or something, right? And it's like, oh, then you're this or this, and they call them names, and they block them on social media or something, right? I mean, that's where a lot of us spend our times nowadays. But and of course, that's an easy thing to do. But I do think that like listening and understanding and having a conversation and stuff too is like, that's what gets people to get to real solutions, because we do live in a society where we have to, of course, keep each other's I don't know, like, take care of everybody basically, right? And like, we have to come to common solutions and stuff. And like, again, I think what the show is generally teaching is not which ideas you should be having or something, but that it's fine to have your own ideas, but that you should also simply listen to others. Take that into account, and maybe it'll help you actually come to different conclusions, or as long as you're willing to listen and have the dialogue, that's easily the most important thing. I don't know why I'm talking about all of this, but it doesn't matter. We are on, like I said, the second episode of Season 4, Part 2. Yeah, other than just, the whole sort of like strange relations there between Eren and whether he is screwing over Zeke and Yelena without them realizing it. There was also the tease that like Levi might be dead, which was said out loud, so that is basically a fact at this point. I just don't really buy it myself, because they would have probably resolved it in a different kind of way. There is Zeke, who got revived by this strange female character that we saw, who I kind of assume might be the original Emir that we're seeing. And he kind of got like, that happened in the same place where we saw Emir, like, the other Emir, god damn it, this show, man. You get what I mean? But like the Emir from season 2, that Emir, right? Like the cocky Emir, the one that like was always calling other people names. That Emir, she was also like, we saw a similar scene with her way back in season 2, and that's what it made me think of. What a complex show this is, guys. It's so, but at the same time, it's just so absolutely fantastic. I don't want it to come to an end, but 11 more episodes and we're going to be done. That being said, let's dive in. Of course, the next 8 episodes will already be up over on Patreon if you want to check those out right away. That means we're actually almost going to be done, literally, with the final season. Just 2 more episodes to go, I think, so you can catch up all the way up until that point. Right now, linked on top of the description, along with full-length reactions if you want to watch the entire episodes along with me, as well as, of course, my OVA reactions. But then with that being said, let's dive into this new episode called Sneak Attack. I remember that last episode, I was honestly going to make a comment saying that, like, of course Mikasa would not be on board of the euthanization plan because she wants to have Eren's babies. Maybe that might be Eren's ultimate goal as well. You never know. It kind of is, Eren. Man, what would we do without Armin? I feel like it makes so much sense though. Only because Armin explained it in such a detailed way. I like how he's honest about it. Oh god, why are these characters so great? Could it be what? It would be quite the rude awakening if Eren basically said like, nah, I wasn't lying. Though I doubt that will happen. So they figure Reiner is that, or? Oh no. Holy shit. He just like got open his face. That scream. What was that? I figured. Zeke is back. The Wonder Boy. You gotta love his humor. Right, that's literally what he said, didn't he? Like, hang in there. Ah, this music. It's just immediately sparking hype. Yep, there he goes. Oh, of course he would use that to take these zeppelins down. Oh wow, this one is crashing into the other. This theme is so epic. Yeah, I can't blame him for that line of thinking. I don't think Gabby is thinking about escaping though. Can't Zeke actually use his ability now to still get these guys to turn into Titans now that he's close to them? Yeah, exactly. You might be fucked real soon. Man, thank God he's still doing relatively okay. Because he looked on the brink of death in that shot before. Okay, so what is his plan with the guys who drank the wine? Oh man. Yep, now they're on the same side again. It's so... I don't know. In the end, I just find it hilarious or something. Like, it constantly shifts your perspective. Okay, what's the idea behind her leaving the scarf? Oh my god. She's just loving the sight of it all. Damn. Yeah, you might be in for a rude awakening though. If Eren is gonna do what has been teased. Well, actually, what would he do? Yeah, because I think they said that he wouldn't actually reveal his plan to them. Because he has to literally use them, right? Yeah, and they figured out that something must have happened to Levi and Hanji. They're just pretending. Yo. What the fuck is that face? That haunted the fuck out of me. What the hell? I still don't even know what that was even supposed to represent there at first. That's okay. Okay, what's his plan? What a great guy. Yeah, she said like, don't fire. Interesting. Oh. Oh, they're literally speaking out how they hope they're still alive. And she's overhearing it. Oh man, yeah. Kaya hates her now. Ah, this is so good. Yep. Wait, was that supposed to like represent the bird has flown out of the cage or something? With like her actually having changed her thoughts? Damn. That sure takes some courage. Because he figures he might die? Oh, yeah, of course, because he has the wine, yeah. I don't know, the best thing is probably to get out of range as soon as possible. Holy shit, man. I think something else might have happened. What? Okay, no, he's just controlling it from up there. Holy shit. Then he can activate the rumbling? Damn, man. Alright, guys. Let's just go to the review. You know, for as chaotic as this episode was, with us literally being in a war zone right now, essentially, right? Where like so many, casualties are, taking place, and where the combat scenes are just absolutely brutal. It really, like, I find it interesting how the episode really focused on just characters again reflecting and going over their like processing their feelings and thinking about them and stuff too. And like, I found it interesting how, like, on one hand you have the people in the survey corps who actually basically decided to go with their gut feeling, where they were saying, like, they were listening to Armin, well, I guess initially that gut feeling was like, yeah, Aaron is just bad, right? But then they're listening to Armin, and he's like, well, guys, you know Aaron, right? And I think Armin has a fair point in everything he said, and it just makes a lot of sense. And yeah, probably Aaron's motivations are more than he is actually letting up. And it kind of explains his behavior of not cluing these guys in all this time about what he was doing at all. But they then decide to go with that gut feeling of like, actually, Aaron is probably like this, right? And that's all that they need to make that decision in a way. Where, Jean just goes like, oh, I like that too, how Jean is just kind of confessing about like, oh, actually, I've always just been jealous of him, really. And, clearly, I mean, that's always... that's always just like you could have seen that by Jean's behavior way back in the day. It's like how he was always trying to pick a fight with Aaron. I remember not even liking Jean early on in the show at all because he seemed like such a show off. And really, yeah, again, the way he was showing off and constantly targeting Aaron, to me, that already reveals that like, well, part of it is that you're also just jealous, right? That's always actually, people who that's the thing too about like people who spend too much time, I feel always just like, yeah, again, just trying to hate on others or whatever. A part of that is just that you're unhappy with yourself. That's always what it is. Otherwise you wouldn't be so negative in the first place. And again, like I love how that's kind of, being displayed here. At the same time, of course, what's interesting is that like Gabby is also realizing this, but in a kind of different way, where like her gut feeling about like, oh yeah, these guys were supposed to be the devils. She's finally realizing now after so long that like, yeah, they weren't devils after all, right? And of course, this is a conclusion that I already have been able to draw a long time ago, and even I could already tell this is where Gabby's storyline was going many episodes ago, but now Gabby is finally really reaching that point where she is realizing it. And yeah, like, I don't know, I just find it great to see. And then speaking of confessions, of course, it's cool also how Falco, knowing that he, it's it's so funny but tragic all the same that like a character like Falco now will finally confess the truth, knowing that these might very well be his last moments before being turned into a Titan, right? And that's when the truth finally comes out. And it's like, yeah, sucks how as humans we really are this way, where like we don't say certain things out loud to other people or like confess particular things. Yeah, unless we literally know that like, oh, we're done for soon anyway, right? And it's like, yeah, I don't know. That's why I really liked this episode in general, even though, again, as far as like actual plot development, I feel like not much happened for me to really like have too much else to speculate about right now. I do wonder like what their plan is once again for the people with the wine. I do wonder what Aaron is trying to do now going towards Zeke here. Yeah, because, like... Well, this is also the thing that I still wonder about in general, is like, how does Aaron plan on using Zeke? Because the only way he can use him is if they activate at least. Well, they do have to activate that euthanization plan, right? So, yeah. Well, I don't know. So I guess what it is. I'm thinking about this stuff on the spot right now again, but like I guess what it is like the same way that he would need Zeke to activate the euthanization plan is the same way he would need to use Zeke for the rumbling, right? And so instead what he plans on doing is unleashing the rumbling, and then they can actually... How does the rumbling work? If he wants to use the rumbling to threaten the outside nations, how does that work? Like, does he use the rumbling in a way to like get the Titans to come out of the walls, and then to steer them, he still needs to be in touch with Zeke, I guess, or something, right? So he would need to be in touch with them at basically all times he wants to use them then. If that's the case, then I don't understand what his plan is, because he would need Zeke to be there, and the only way Zeke is going to be there is if he sees that they kicked off the euthanization plan. But Aaron is not planning on actually using the euthanization plan, most likely then. So again, like this is still the stuff that I'm confused about right now. Like, how exactly do all these things work? How do they activate it? And what is the actual outcome of it? If he can use Zeke to activate the rumbling, but then he can actually like steer these Titans without using him anymore after that, then it makes sense. But I don't think that's actually what's possible. I hope I'm making sense in my thought process right now. But again, like, actually thinking about how these things work in practice is still partly what I struggle with. Yeah, really, that's all that I have to say, I think, about this episode for now. So just super looking forward to the next one, of course. The next 8 episodes will already be up over on Patreon if you want to check them out right now. Linked on top of the description, of course. We will be over on, what is it? I think there's going to be like 28 episodes in total. So we'll be on episode 26 right now. So go check that out, along with full-length reactions. So, of course, if you want to watch the entire episodes along with me, as well as OVAs. But then with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.